Hi.
Henry Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, so we are here to discuss your daughter Judith's hearing.
Right.
Okay, so she was born July 19th, 2010, so
Correct.
she's 6 years old.
Yes.
And where does she go to school?
Blooming Prairie Elementary.
And who referred her here?
Her teacher, Julian Roberts.
Okay, so does she have any siblings?
She does, one older, one younger.
Okay, and how old are they?
10 and 3.
Okay. And what made you come in and seek audiological services?
So her teacher was mentioning pretty often that she wasn't responding correctly and that she just wasn't seeming to get it as much as the other students were, and so we wanted to know what kind of issue we were looking at, and so the school told us that we could look at hearing first, and so we decided to come here.
Okay. And what age did these problems start occurring?
She's had ear infections since she was little bitty, and so like chronic ear infections all the time. And so we put tubes in whenever she was 4, and it just didn't get better. And so they eventually fell out, and she continued to have hearing problems.
Okay. And has the problem increased or decreased in severity?
It stayed about the same. She's
Okay.
had about the same amount of ear infections.
Okay. So did she pass her newborn hearing screening?
She did.
Okay. And is there any family history of hearing loss?
Not that I know of. Not immediate family.
Okay. And were there any problems with the pregnancy, the birth?
Nope. All 3 of my kids are pretty normal.
And she doesn't have a congenital disorder or anything?
Nope.
Okay. Does she have, well, you said that she has a history of hearing
Yes.
or ear infections.
Right.
Okay, and how many ear infections has she had within the past year?
Probably around 7 or 8.
Okay.
Quite a few.
And has she had any surgeries?
She had the tubes put in her ears.
Okay.
She had them in both. Other than that, no.
Right, and she still has the hole in her eardrum, you said, and the ENT did clear her to come here.
Yes. Yeah.
Because did y'all not want to do another surgery?
We didn't. We just figured she's 6 and didn't want to put her through that, and so we wanted to look at the alternatives first.
Okay. Has she had any other major illnesses or hospitalizations?
Nope. She's been pretty healthy.
Okay. And is she on any antibiotics?
She's on one right now for another ear infection. We're towards the end. So.
Okay. And what is she on?
Amoxicillin.
Oh, okay. Okay, so now I just want to go over her developmental history with you. So would you say that her overall development is delayed, average, or advanced?
Pretty delayed.
And could you explain that?
Her vocabulary is a little behind whenever she interacts with her peers. It's just not quite where it needs to be. So we think maybe it could be hearing, but that's why we're here to figure it out.
Yeah. And how would you describe her physical development?
Pretty average.
Average.
Yeah, she's pretty much where she needs to be.
Okay. And then would you describe her speech and language development as delayed, average, or advanced?
Delayed. Yeah.
Okay.
She, especially when we're out places, strangers have a hard time understanding her.
Mm-hmm.
In the classroom, her peers have to ask over and over what's going on, and then she just doesn't always get social cues.
Okay.
So speech is a little bit behind.
Yeah. So, in the school, has she been identified with a learning disability?
She has. Yes.
Okay. And specifically, is it in reading, writing, math, speech, or language?
With speech and language.
Okay.
Yeah. She does the other areas pretty well.
Yeah. And does she have any other difficulties?
Nope. Other than that, she's good.
Okay. So is there any other information that you think is important in like us helping her, or?
She is extremely joyful. She loves being around other people and interacting with them. she is not always aware that she's missing out on something, and so it's good in that area because while we understand that she's not getting it, she doesn't always understand it, and so it's more so for her developmental area that she'll continue to increase where she needs to be increasing, and then get the hearing figured out.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And now we're gonna do a hearing screening and just see if we can figure out what the problem is. Okay. Okay. So I have Judith's results from her hearing screening.
Okay.
And this is what we call an audiogram. And it just shows me the type of hearing loss that Judith has. And so what she has is what we call a conductive hearing loss. And that means that her eardrum isn't vibrating exactly like it should. And that's probably because of the hole that was left from the tube that didn't heal. And also just from damage from all of her ear infections. But in her right ear, she isn't that much under normal, so it's a little better than the hearing in her left ear. So, the loudest or the softest noises that she can hear in her right ear are about the level of a whisper. And then the softest noises that she can hear in her left ear are about the sound of just conversational speech from about 3 feet away. So what's good is that she does have better hearing in her right ear, but as the sounds get higher in pitch, the less she can hear. So what's good about this type of hearing loss is that it can definitely be helped with hearing aids. And although the hearing aids won't completely restore normal hearing, they will definitely help her middle ear vibrate better so that the sound, gets to her brain.
Yeah, for sure.
So whenever you're ready, we can discuss all of her options for just improving that hearing.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we already went over Judith's case history and her audiogram. And so now we're going to go over some of the things that we have figured out about her hearing. So we think that she's a great candidate for hearing aids because of her conductive loss, and so it would help her be that much more ahead in school and help her speech problems and language problems. And so we're suggesting that she is fitted for both ears. Even though her right ear isn't as bad, we still want to have her on the same level as everybody else. So we don't want her struggling in one ear and being able to hear really well in the other. So we're going to fit her for both, and we're going to fit her with a behind the ear. So it's the very standard thing that the hearing aid that you see most people wearing, with the receiver microphone behind the ear and then the ear molds actually in the ear. It's a good one for 6-year-olds and allows them to kind of adjust to having a hearing aid, and then we can move from there. There are also a couple of hearing assisted technologies that we want to suggest. The first one being an FM system. So that would go to her teacher. And so her teacher would wear a microphone, and the microphone would go directly to her hearing aids. And so that way, if her teacher was turned around facing the board and writing, and she couldn't read her lips, it would make her aware of what was going on, so that she wouldn't be straining to hear things or miss things. And then the second one is a one-to-one communication, and that's for you. And so if y'all are in the car and she also can't see your lips, it would help her just to focus in on what you're saying, and that way you don't have to grab her attention, or in public, it would help you out a lot. And so those are 2 of them that we're going to suggest, and we can talk a little bit about that later. But now we're going to go over the actual hearing aids. So to get you a little bit familiar with what she's going to be wearing and how you can be best prepared for being there for her. And so first we're going to go over the parts. So this part is the actual ear mold. So the round part right here goes in the canal of your ear, the round part, it just matches right up. And then this part it holds the battery compartment, so you can kind of see right here, the battery compartment's popped open. And then on the top is the microphone. So that's what the sound goes through. It travels down here and then goes directly into her canal. There's not going to be a volume control. We'll be doing that automatically, and so it'll kind of adjust to her needs, whatever environment she's in. Also, another cool thing is that she can pick the color and design of the ear mold and the behind the ear, so we can bring her in whenever we fit her for it, and then that'll be fun for her.
Yeah.
It'll keep her involved and ready to go. Let's see, so let's go over cleaning now. These are kind of the parts, the rough estimate parts. But cleaning, it's pretty simple. So you can just clean this with water.
Okay.
You can rinse it off just like you normally would, shake it out, make sure there's no earwax in there. And the same with the tubes. So you'll just twist and pull them apart. It's really easy. They come off, you're not going to break it. You just twist and pull. And then you can also shake those out, run them under water, but we're also going to give you a brush that comes with the hearing aid. And so you can just push the brush down in there, get extra wax or any maybe liquid that has gotten in there, condensation kind of thing, and clean it out real easy. It shouldn't be hard or stiff. It's going to be really flexible. And so if it ever gets stiff, we're going to have to bring it in and replace it because we want it to be flexible and comfortable for her to wear. That way she's not trying to pull it out and yank it out. We want her to keep it in there. And so another part is the battery door. So there's the battery might seem complicated because there's a lot of different batteries, but it's really simple. So hers is going to be a 675 battery. I'm going to get a piece of paper with that on it so you don't get it. It's also going to be blue. And so no matter where you go to buy batteries, you can buy them anywhere, CVS, HEB, wherever you want. It's always going to be blue. So that's how you know what kind of battery she needs. The blue battery is 675. And so with the battery door, you literally just take your fingernail and pop it open. And we don't suggest that you let Judith do it yet because we don't want her to mess it up or think that she can put the battery in her mouth, anything like that. And so we want you to be doing it right now. Pop it open, change it. You have to change it every 10 to 14 days. And so that it'll start beeping whenever the battery is about to go out. And so you'll just know to check it periodically and to change out her battery. Let's see. So where we want you to store it. We don't want you to store it in the bathroom or on a nightstand. So if you store it in the bathroom, there can be, the battery can get rusted or there can be condensation in these tubes, and we don't want that because that allows her to she won't be able to hear as well. And so we want you to store it maybe inside her room, inside a drawer somewhere, and that way whenever she's sleeping she could take it out and know to put it in that drawer directly. We don't want animals getting to it on the nightstand, anything like that, and so make sure that it's stored away from where water or animals can get to it. And if something does happen, bring it into us and we can get it fixed. And so another really important part of the hearing aid is being consistent with the use. We want her to wear it every single day, at school, at home, everywhere. The only time we want her to take it out is at night or if she's getting in a swimming pool, something like that, to where it could potentially get wet, because we want her to, one, get comfortable with it. And if she's just putting it in, taking it out, putting it in, it's going to hurt her ear and it's not going to be comfortable for her to be wearing. And also so that as she's still developing language, her brain can understand what she's hearing. And that way she's not going to be behind in some areas and then normal in some areas. It's going to be pretty consistent and she'll be able to understand every area. And then it's really simple to put the hearing aids on. So we just want you to put the ear mold in first and then kind of fold it over the back of your ear. And we can practice with her. You can help put it on, and we'll also get her to try to put it on. That way she can feel independent and feel like she's doing it herself. And so that way she'll feel good about wearing them and feel confident about wearing them. Do you have any questions? Anything that you can think of?
So how do I know which hearing aid goes in which ear?
Right, okay, that's also pretty easy. So with the ear mold, the curve of the ear mold is going to fit in that ear. So you'll be able to put it on and you'll see very clearly which ear it goes on. But if the ear mold gets taken off, then inside the battery door, the red is the right side, and the blue is going to be the left. And so if your ear mold ever gets taken off, or if the ear mold ever gets taken off, you can look in the battery compartment, and it makes it really easy for you to figure out.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah.